Welcome. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Petra, and I will be your advanced trainer, instructor, whatever you want to call it. It is just me sharing my knowledge from this lifetime and beyond with you, with all my experiences. Hope it helps in any way, and that you have been exploring what we have been learning, which makes my heart sing. So if in any way I can help you with my knowledge and you actually implement that, my work is done on this earth. Honestly, that's something that I really love seeing people thrive. Okay, let me share the screen so we can actually go into today's training. How do I do this? Okay, and I've lost. Great. Let me just Zoom. I love when Zoom does that. It moves everything that I've prepared, and then I don't know how to do that anymore. And it moves everything around. Okay, let me just pull all the chats and everything so I can actually see you and see what you're writing in the chats. Okay, so today this month is more focused on the physical body through all the levels. Yeah, so today, hope everybody sees my slides. Let me know if you see my slides, thumbs up if you do. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so we are focusing today on body positivity and self-love. This is like words that we kind of use and misuse, and we tend to kind of go, oh, you need to love yourself more, and you need to do this work, and why don't you just love yourself, and why don't you see yourself this way, right? But what really happens in our physical body, and what really happens or needs to happen in order for that shift to occur, we're going to look at that today. So before we go and do anything else, I do need to give you a disclaimer. Yeah, make sure that you know that either Healy device or Make Healy device, whatever you're using, it's actually not for medical applications. Yeah, that it does not cure, it does not treat, it doesn't mitigate, diagnose or prevent any disease or medical conditions. Yeah, so it's literally merely a tool for us to support our body to create an environment where our body can thrive. And it's a beautiful tool to actually have a deeper insight into our body and see what's really going on. So we're not just guessing and trying and practicing certain things that might not give us results. Yeah, but in any way, none of the devices cure or treat anything. Yeah, so all these trainings are literally my experience for you to try and explore. And it's your personal choice and decision what you do with that knowledge. Yeah, so make those personal choices and responsibility for yourself, because your body is your home and you live in it for at least this life. And it's really important to actually make, I like to call them intuitive decisions, because your body knows exactly what it does and what it needs to do without our head coming into the space. Okay, so today we are looking at the self-love aspect and the connection to the body and how it influences it, and also what we can find in our body. I like to call our body a pantry. I will go into that deeper a bit later. But first of all, my question to you is, how does self-love feels like and look like in your life? So how does it feel like in the body? How do you implement that in your physical life? And what do you do? What are the actions that actually say that you love yourself, that you love your body, that you love yourself? What do you actually do, and how does that feel like? So pop that in the chats, in the chat that we have. I would love to understand how you see self-love, so we can then go from there and go deeper into the quantum field so we can actually start shifting certain things within our physical body, of course, and the environment. Okay, let me check some chats if you pop anything in. Exploring the device and enjoying the weather in Dubai. Beautiful. Probably it's hot, huh? Well, not probably, because it's what, spring now almost. I am deep diving into the new Meridian. Oh, I love the new Meridian map. I haven't bought it the last time, but I have the experience on the time waiver, and I am in love with the new Meridians. Sarah Chandra scans, I'm now seeing some patterns emerge. Beautiful. I love that. Doing great. Awesome. Take care of self, body, through taking good food, mental through meditation. Okay. So those are tools. Taking care of the body, that's a part of self-love. Okay. Our body is a temple, and I love to take care of my body. Okay, so how does taking care of your body, what does that mean? How does that look like? What are the actions that you do? What do you say to yourself with those actions? Self-love is very personal, but didn't need to be so. Self-love is very personal. That's an interesting statement. My perception is that self-love is actually not so personal. It actually includes everyone in our life. So the way I see self-love is actually our environment is a reflection of our self-love, and how we see others in our life actually reflects on how we have a relationship with ourselves. So to me, it's quite open. Think right, eat right, enjoy the nature around. Think right, eat right. Okay. Self-love feels like juicy nurturing. Oh, I love that one. Looks like kindness. Beautiful. Do no judgment, no self-criticism. Okay, that's a hard one to achieve, but beautiful. Great goals. Maintain connection with spirit. Beautiful. I'm deep diving to the new awesome. Some here, but the new meridians here have realized that if the body is not looked after, you age faster and also tend to get sick. Okay, perfect. So I can see that a lot of you are connecting self-love with care, which is something I like to separate. So taking care of the body and loving your body, they are connected, but they're two different branches of the same tree. So the way I see it is the love for ourselves is the capacity of building, or let's reverse it. So imagine that your body is a container, yeah, in which you put a liquid in. So you pour it in, there's a liquid that goes into your body. And think of that liquid as unconditional love. So the more empty your vessel is, the more unconditional love you can hold. And I'm saying this specifically because of the love, because love is a frequency. And when I look at self-care, which is a part of love, is literally taking a look at, how do I treat my body? How do I look at the body to empty it? Yeah. So to empty things that are not serving me anymore, to bring more liquid of unconditional love in so I can hold more, meaning I can expand more. Yeah. So, and I'm saying this specifically because we have Healy, right? And Healy works on quantum frequencies, and it works on quantum field. And we are all unconditional love, right? In our own pure authenticity, our essence is love. And anything that is not love within our body is actually not meant to be there. It's actually meant to leave our body, rise up to the top like a bubbles in a boiling water, and really pour out. So you know how you have a glass, and imagine that you have a glass and there's mud on the bottom, yeah? And the more you pour in the liquid, the more you stir up the glass, and the more you pour, the more mud will go out of the top, yeah? So the more we actually stir up the pot within ourselves, the more we shift things within ourselves, the more unconditional love we can hold. Okay, so how do we do that? Yeah. So first of all is our perception. Let's look at that. Let's say that these are two sides of us. Yeah. And we tend to see this in people around us, right? We see people that have more negative thoughts. Yeah. And there's people that have more positive thoughts. Yeah. And that means that we are seeing versions of ourselves in the environment. So let's say these two people have perceptions and mental patterns and thoughts and emotions opposite of each other. Yeah. So one is quite negative and the other one is quite positive. So the perception that the way we think and the way we feel determines how we see the world around us. That also determines how we see our vision in the mirror. So this is really basic, yeah. But why am I saying this? Perception also defines our experience in our body, in the environment that we live in. So, and how we take care of our body, which is a part of love, and how we respond to the environment in moments of change. So why I'm saying it's important to respond to how we respond to the environment in moments of change, because we are here to grow. So your little glass of liquid with the mud on the bottom will get stirred up, yeah, with the environment around you, because we have oppositions. And when we have oppositions in a 3D world, we will be, sooner or later, we will be triggered and we will stir up the pot of everything, all the mud that's within our physical vessel. How we respond to change determines how we see the world around us, how we take care of us and how we take care of others, how we love ourselves and how we love others. Yeah. So they're interconnected. So our perception of the world determines how our thought patterns form. And if we look at children on a physical level, children, when they are born up to age 7, they actually exist in what we called a theta wave state, yeah, which is the frequency of the brain where we are completely open. So we are like a sponge and we are absorbing all the mental patterns and emotional patterns and anything in environment, any pattern or how we should do things or how we shouldn't do things. So after age 7, our ego is fully formed. So that means our survival instinct is formed, how we respond to situations in life is formed, and all the patterns, mental patterns, emotional patterns in the body are formed. So the bottom part is, let's say, idealistic, yeah? Is a person or a side of us or a part of us that has cleared up all this mud and the patterns have cleared up and all is left is what we call a spirit. So our, what I call essence, yeah, and some people call spirit, some people call higher self. In first of all, in quantum field, our physical body is just a physical body. Somebody needs to inhabit it, yeah, and the liquid that inhabits it is our essence or higher self or spirit or soul is a part of it, yeah. So when we are clearing all these patterns up and out, what is left is our pure self. And when we are in our pure self state, and we can have glimpses of that throughout the day, when we are in a pure self state, we are in what we call a frequency of authenticity. There's a Spanish study that actually was done 2 years ago, I think it is, that actually measured that authenticity is actually a higher frequency than love. So imagine that if you're in your pure state of love and you're aligned completely with yourself without all these beliefs, which are like lenses over your eyes looking out into the world and have you creating an experience for you, if you let go of all of those lenses, of emotional, and physical, and mental beliefs, you would create a garden within yourself. And that garden flourishes with love. Love, pure unconditional love, because that is who we are in existence. And we can access that by aligning with our true self. I know this is a bit philosophical, but it does come to a point when we say, okay, so how do I get there, right? So if I truly love myself and I can take care of me, yeah, great. But how can we actually get deeper into that self-love so we can actually start shifting that little mud within ourselves so we can fill up the vessel with unconditional love and align truly with who we are so we can expand our physical body? Because why? The expansion, why do I want to do that, right? Because when we let go of that mud, what happens is the physical situations and these eases in our body, yeah, the discomfort within our body subsides because we are completely aligned with who we are on a physical, emotional, and mental level. So, how do we create a state of physical change? So these are some concerns that happen if we are not aligned and we actually don't take not only care of ourselves, but if we don't love ourselves for who we are, our perception of who we are, not just how do I eat and how do I drink water, do I go for a massage, do I take time for me? That's all beautiful, but how do I see myself? How do I respect myself? What are my boundaries? How do I connect to my true self, my spirit? Yeah. Some of you are doing meditation, which is beautiful, right? So, high stress, welcome to the club. We live in a world currently that has been quite high stress. Yeah. And the high stress levels in our life can actually lower self esteem. Our self esteem and the perception of how we look at ourselves. High stress influence hormones. So we're going to actually look at some of the hormone part and the physical part in the next series this month. So we're really going to dive into the physical. But because it influences hormones, it actually can drop our mood and we can become more we can have the negative lenses come up instead of the positive lenses. Yeah. And high stress can lead to risk of high health problems. Yeah. Poor sleep. Yeah. If people come to me and ask me, yeah, I have this issue and I have this issue and I have this issue, the first thing that I ask them is, how do you sleep? Sleep is a crucial part of your we will learn this when we move into detoxification and looking at the organs and things like that and meridians. But sleep is crucial for your regeneration, for literally eliminating all your toxins out of the body. And it also changes how you see the world around you. Substance abuse. Yeah, this doesn't mean just drugs and alcohol. Sugar. Sugar is, I don't know if you know, but sugar is actually a drug. So it actually lights up the same receptors in your brain as heroin. Who would have thought? So think of it this way. If you are craving sugar and if there's an addiction to sugar, there's an emotional connection at the back of that. Because there's every time we have an addiction can also mean can all be overeating, or it can be needing always something sweet. Yeah, it can also be relationships. So there's a lot of different addictions, right? And substance abuse. So have in mind that there's a reason your body does something at the back of it. Yeah, so it's about learning how to connect to the body, to love yourself enough to listen to the body to actually understand it. Then we have unhealthy eating habits, overeating, undereating, dieting, all of that. Yeah. Inactivity. So if you're not exercising enough through the day, there is not enough detoxification in your body, and toxins can actually wreak havoc on your hormones, and that wreaks havoc on your adrenal glands, which connects to your energy resources and then connects to your brain, and so on and so on and so on. So how do we achieve the physical change? We talked about manifestation, yeah? So there's 3 levels, or three active ingredients that we actually need to follow in every single thing that we want to create change in. And these are our emotions, our thoughts, and our actions. So let's look at thoughts. Our perception, our thoughts, our words that we are using come from our thoughts. Our thoughts are actually electrical charges into the field. They are messages sending into the field, which our soul and our essence, our higher self is connected to. Emotions can be either creating thoughts, or thoughts can be creating emotions in the body. So emotions, as we learned from our coaching session, are magnets, meaning they are, if thoughts are sending messages to the field, emotions are drawing it back to our physical body. So this is a plain quantum field, but how do we get it into the physical? You need action. And the action needs to be aligned with your thoughts and with your emotions. So if those 3 are not aligned, the physical change won't happen. So the more you start aligning those 3 together and acting on your thoughts and your emotions, the more you're going to see change in your environment. Test it out. Okay, this is the basics. So let's look at, as we know, emotions bring things into our towards us, yeah, to our center. But there's something that can interfere. So when we are playing in the quantum field and we are trying to create something in the physical body, especially when it's emotional and mental, yeah, we saw, looking at the physical body last week, that we need to actually take care of the body and support the body, especially if it's actually lacking in certain things. But when we're playing in a quantum field, we are now entangled with our own little bubble in this field. And if our bubble is not strong, if our energetic boundaries are not strong, we can get interference. So interference can be either from the outside of the bubble or inside of the bubble. Yeah, so the inside of the bubble is the mud in the glass. The outside of the bubble is other people's mud in the glass. Yeah, and other people's emotions and thought patterns and actions can contribute to the disturbance in our field that can influence our physical body. Yeah, it can drain us as well. We can absorb certain emotions and we need to process those. It takes time. So I wanted to show you something. So this is a graphic of a research that was done of where do we feel love in the body. Yeah, so there was, I forgot how many participants, but a lot. I'll get back to you on that one. Forgot the number. So what they were doing is they were giving them an experiment of different experiences of different types of love, and the participants needed to actually use the mouse and draw the color or click on the part of the body where they actually felt the love. So if you look at, there's different types of love: passionate love, true love, love for life, romantic love, sexual love, mother's love for their child, love for nature. So there's different types of love, right? But if you look at, they all have something in common. So they're felt in the top part of the body, except the passionate love, which is full body and true love, and love for life. Yeah, true body, like the whole body. Yeah, but majority is literally head is common to everything. So thoughts, as I said, they're electrical currents, they create energy. So even love is literally not mental process, but energetic process that happens in the current of the brain and creates emotions and sensations throughout the body. So what does that mean? That if we change our perception to the world, and if we change our perception to ourselves, and we actually start connecting to the body deeper, listening to the body and listening to the messages of the body, we can expand that love for ourselves. We can expand the love throughout the body. So I wanted to give you something basic to start understanding your body and start loving your body for what it is. Meaning, unconditional love means loving yourself in the shadow as well as in the light. Yeah. So when we think things are not working, when we don't want to see certain things, we want to get rid of them because we don't like the pain, we don't like how things are currently. The unconditional love means that we hold ourselves in a container and literally hug ourselves with everything that is present. But in that space, we can listen to our body and we can actually start connecting back to ourselves, learning what our body's trying to tell us. So the basic things in the physical sensations of the communication with the body are these. So we have the left and the right side. The left side represents of the body, so you can start connecting the dots if something is happening on your left side. This is a feminine side, yeah? Yin, it connects to the past. Anything that happened in the past, we are holding on the left side majority of times. It's a receptive, so are you able to receive? Are you over receiving and not giving enough? Yeah? So those are the balances, always on both sides. It connects to our environment, and environment influences, yeah, so how our environment influences us. It also connects to our emotional self, so how we're feeling, how we are processing emotions within our body. It also connects to our memories, right? Past and memories are connected. It could also be memories from past lives or anything else, yeah? The right side of the body, so anything on the right side, will be connected to masculine or yang, and this is connected to future interaction with the world. So how do we present ourselves into the world? How do we step into the world? Are we confident? Are we in our center? Are we aligned? Yeah. And the left side is more intuition. Are we listening? Yeah. And then we have the back of our body and the front of our body. Back we tend to forget, and it's connected to the unconscious, private, and hidden self. Anything we don't want to see, we hide in our back, in our spine, and it is connected to our spine. So if any connections are down the spine, the back of your body, yeah, those are the things that either have happened and they were so traumatic and traumatized you that you wanted to forget. We push that energy back into our spine. So if something is happening there, there's something to look at and open up on what I like to say, Pandora's box. Front of our body is what we tend to use the most, is what we actually present out into the world. It's our conscious part of ourselves, so we are aware of it majority of time. It's also connected to our social or public self, so how we present to others, how it's also we tend to put a facade on so people can see us differently than we truly are. And with shifting that and loving ourselves truly and being honest with ourselves, we need to take those masks off. It's also connected to the active day-to-day activities. So anything you do in your life, in your business, in your family, anything that happens day to day. If there's issues happening day to day, if there's issues at home, if there's issues at work, they will kind of present in the physical body, in the front side of the body. And then it's connected to the face. Yeah, we try to shrink the face, all our muscles and fascia kind of shrinks. It also connects to the posture and the body language of the body. Yeah, so how we use our body to communicate and how we hold ourselves. Is our spine straight? Are we kind of pushing forward? Are we shrinking? How is our body language and what is trying to tell us? So those are the things that, for example, if we are shrinking, we are either protecting ourselves, or we are ashamed of certain things, or we don't want to show ourselves, right? Or we are afraid to actually open up our heart. Yeah. And if we don't open up our heart, we can't actually heal. We can't fill our body with unconditional love. Okay. All this shizzle and shebang around the body and the connection and the love to ourselves. And it is about experimentation and for you to start observing and noticing and being aware of where you're feeling sensations in the body and shifting the perspective. For example, if you noticed yourself saying negative things, try to take a breath and shift it into something positive, something that you are trusting that it is the way you would like it to be, not just the way it is and the way you see it right now. That is a practice. Okay, let's look at some programs. So there's 3 levels of how I tend to approach self-love and taking care of the body. Yeah. My favorite, so we have the energetic boundaries, the emotional well-being, and mental well-being. So first of all, I put energetic boundaries because if we actually don't have a clean and clear space energetically around us, we can't actually discern our thoughts and emotions from other people's thoughts and emotions. So keeping I like to say this, energetic hygiene. Yeah. So it's like brushing your teeth. You need to keep your energy space clean. Yeah. Your bubble around you clean. So there's few programs that I use. My favorites are Coherence and Bioenergetic Boost. These are in Bioenergetic Support. Yeah. Those are my favorites. Coherence I do daily unless I'm doing a protocol. Bioenergetic Boost if I go, I don't know, in a shopping center or in an event that I feel like after the event I kind of got a bit drained, or if I know I'll be facing a lot of different people at a different frequencies, I actually do Bioenergetic Boost beforehand in order to strengthen my energetic space to help me read my emotions in the environment better, and actually helps me have more empathy and connect deeper with other people. Then we have Spirit. It's in the well-being. I don't know if you have it. I think it's now we used to have it back years ago. So I still have it in my Healy, but it is under well-being. So I think it's under subscriptions now. But so this mind, body, spirit programs are actually beautiful, like really beautiful programs to use. And they actually work on the whole entire system energetically to help us balance the energy and bioenergetic field. Pure energy in deep cycle H. So if you haven't done it, that's okay, you can still use it. But if you have done the deep cycle protocol, if you haven't done it yet, that's okay. We're going to look at it next week, the whole entire protocol. But Pure Energy is a program in the Deep Cycle H list of programs. And I love this one because it actually helps to support our adrenal glands. Our kidneys and adrenal glands go together, and the nervous system that actually feeds into our energetic space. Then energy in digital nutrition mixtures. So I don't know if you have the digital nutrition programs, but energy is beautiful. So you also have Gold Cycle energy, but that to me is like an energizer bunny. So it actually energizes me too much. Where energy in digital nutrition, it actually it boosts your energy, but it's not like over the top. So it's literally just topping up whatever you need. That's how I feel it. Activation, we've looked at that last week. So that's activating your circulation. It's activating an energetic field around you as well. Find flow. So find flow is actually, if you look at it in the program itself, it's 0.1 frequency. So this is actually a really beautiful frequency for grounding, and it actually helps all the energy to move through the body, and it helps with sleep, but it also helps with balancing your energetic levels. Yeah, if you're a bit low, if you're a bit high, so it actually helps to balance them. And then we have classical energetic, which is in the power of 3. If you have the power of 3, if you have the professional, I love power of 3. I'm trying to put a session for that as well in there somewhere in the next few months. But classical energetic is actually beautiful because um, it strengthens your physical energy, but at the same time, it's like joining coherence with bioenergetic boost and activation. I don't know how to describe it otherwise. So it balances your physical strength, it calms your nervous system down, and it feels like you have this beautiful shield around you. This is how I feel it, and this is how I experience it. And it's really beautiful when we are supporting our body, and we're going to look at that at the end of the month when we look at detoxification. So it's really beautiful when we are supporting our body with detoxification. We are supporting the physical part of us, but at the same time energetic as well. So those are energetic boundaries. So when we are keeping those, it's easier to actually maneuver around emotional and mental. Looking at the emotional. So my favorite of all programs for emotional well-being are Soul Cycle Protocol and Soul Cycle programs. So if you haven't done Soul Cycles, if you don't have them yet, if you do have them, great. If you don't, get them. I'm not kidding. This is one of the programs that it's like Deep Cycle H that I love. Yeah. And my experience with Soul Cycles is that they work best for me on a coil. I've tried bracelets, I've tried different applications, but they work the best for me on coil. And I get best results from it. So we're going to look at Soul Cycle hopefully in March. I'm trying to figure out where to put things in. But we're going to look at the whole protocol on how to approach it and how to use it and how to do it. But Soul Cycles are beautiful. There's like confidence in there, self-confidence, and there's like aura clearing. So there's a lot of beautiful programs in there that can actually support you in your emotional well-being without the ups and downs. There's also emotional well-being program and inner unity, which I do love. Before Soul Cycles came out, those two were and the feel good systematic. So feel good, anything that says syst, which is systematic, it's different than acute programs. Yeah. So systematic will work on the system of the body. So all the connections. Feel good systematic means anything that connects to the hormones that make you feel good. So it will go through the systems of gut, brain, heart. Like there's so many different elements that we'll take a look at. So it will balance your hormones, will balance your mood through the body. Those are in mental balance and inner strength systematic as well. So my favorite were emotional well-being, inner unity, and feel good systematic. Those were before Soul Cycles. I was running those a lot. And then we have Joy of Life, which is beautiful, indigenous nutrition. Brain harmony, sleep, psyche, which is really good if you are feeling, how do I say this? A bit frazzled and a bit scattery. Yeah. Psyche is really beautiful to bring those thoughts back in alignment and actually calm the nervous system down. Then we have hormonal system harmony, which is also in the digital nutrition mixtures. So remember, these are all frequencies of vitamins, minerals, as well as certain hormones, well, frequency to stimulate certain hormones in the body. Yeah. So this actually helps with boosting the feel good system within ourselves and in the body to last longer. Then we have best gold cycles. We start with being and relax. Those are my favorite to go if I don't have anything else. And then we have the power of 3, classical physical conflict balance. So conflict balance is if you are torn. For example, if you feel like you are overwhelmed, you have a lot of things on your plate, or you feel like, you're running out of time. So I would love to spend more time with family, but I have all these things to do. How do I decide? And I get stressed and I get overwhelmed. The conflict balance is really good for that. It makes your head clear. It actually makes it easier for you to choose. So it really focuses your energy. Then we have body, again in well-being. And then if you feel like your hormones are a bit out of whack emotionally, pineal gland harmony, in bioenergetic vitalization, that's on a professional. I love bioenergetic vitalization, but I'll see if I can actually get the protocol out. So pineal gland activates, it's like a, how do we call it? A controller of all the glands in the body that create hormones. So pineal gland is actually the master of the body, has the leash. So if it's out of balance, our sleep can be out of balance, our moods can be out of balance. Yeah. And bioenergetic vitalization is beautiful because it actually works with the DNA. So it supports and harmonizes the DNA itself. Then we have hormone harmony in Bioenergetic Harmony 1. This is something I was running before I had my expert program for hormone balance. And it's really beautiful. A lot of people have really good results with it for balancing your hormones. Then we have balanced sleep. And bed rest can go in here as well, which work on the nervous system. And then, of course, chakras. Of course, you can use the aura module and the coaching module to actually start connecting to your body and to start looking at what's going on. But those are programs that you can support yourself with to charge your cells to actually start regenerating on a physical level. So sacral, heart, and root chakras are beautiful to support yourself with emotional well-being. They actually help you dissolve any ancestral patterns, any shame, guilt, old pattern, how do you call it, old mental beliefs and emotional beliefs. Yeah, those are really good. And then we have the mental well-being, which I love, is mental balance acute. It's in the mental balance. So if your head is running and spinning, that's actually really good. It's kind of balancing for the mind. Then we have mind and spirit in the well-being programs. And then extreme tension, activation, exhaustion, systematic, and positive thoughts. That's in the job. Yeah. The sleep and job list of programs are together. So depending on which edition you have, if you have a professional Healy professional, you will have the activation on the job. I love to use the positive thoughts when I'm a bit scattered in my brain as well. Hormonal balance, it's in Meridian 2, which actually works on the pineal gland and pituitary gland. So it actually balances the neurons in the body. Then we have Gold Cycle again, Relax and Being. Then we have the learning list of programs, which is concentration systematic, stress systematic, and stress acute. Why? Because when we are overloading our brain, okay, let's look at it this way. Our 3D brain is not meant to plan things ahead. Yeah, it's not meant to understand what's going to happen in the future. It's only meant to understand what's happening right now. Who's meant to understand what's going to happen in the future? Our spirit, our essence. So the more we calm down our mind, the more we can connect to our spirit, the more we trust into the process, but we need to calm down our mind. So anything that, for example, if you've been working a long hours on your computer and you are literally missing the oxygen in the body, your brain is overloaded. Concentration and systematic and stress systematic are really beautiful for that overload of the brain. Then we have bioenergetic vitalization, which again helps long-term work and support things on the DNA level. So we have the holistic support, which is overall support in the DNA system to actually support the whole body. Pineal gland harmony is really beautiful too. So you have the neurons shooting correctly. Then we have digital nutrition mixtures. Again, mixtures of frequencies of vitamins, minerals, and frequencies to support, stimulate certain hormones in the body. So we have brain harmony, nerve harmony, and bioinformation. Bioinformation is amazing. Yeah. So if you have digital nutrition mixtures, bioinformation is amazing. And not only for the brain, it's amazing for anything on a cell level. Yeah. Because what it does, it actually balances how the information travels through the nervous system and how it gets to the cell. So think of it this way. So if you're sending an email to someone and the connection is not there, the email doesn't come or it goes into a spam folder, yeah, the message is not going to reach them. So the same thing happens in our body when messages go from cell to cell, yeah, or from one system to another. So we need to have a clear communication pathway, no blockages in between, in order for the information to travel smoothly. So bioinformation is beautiful for that, to actually build the blocks in there as well. And then we have the mental, which is, what did I do that? Where is the mental? Bioenergetic defense. That's what it is. Bioenergetic defense. So mental, this one is on an energetic field. So any mental patterns in the energetic field. So sometimes, what does this mean? So sometimes we can pick up on certain thoughts in the field. So it actually helps us digest our thoughts better and to discern what's coming in and it's ours and what's coming in and it's not ours. So our energetic field can get overloaded as well in the environment. So this helps us to discern certain things that are happening in the field as well as within our brain. Yeah, if that makes sense. Okay, I think I've run down for everything. So we have 10 minutes for questions, but I've gave you a lot of programs. Have in mind, choose 3. Go with something that you feel resonate and pops out for you the most, yeah, and choose 3 programs and play around with them for a week. Then let's say choose, I don't know, 2 programs a day and run the same programs, like let's say use a week of programs, Monday to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, yeah. Sunday, let's say it's off day. So one day is no programs. Yeah, you need to integrate frequencies and run those same programs that you've run for the whole 6 days and run them for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks and see what happens in the body and what changes you actually experience in the body. Because if you just randomly, run programs, yes, if you have overload in your head, of course, or if you feel like, you have an emotional release and your body's kind of hyperventilating and you don't actually know what to do to calm down, of course you're going to take a program and help your body and help yourself. But the goal is to actually create a routine with programs so you can actually experience a change within your physical body, if that makes sense. Okay, questions. There's a hand up. Crew, is it Crew Ravindra? Okay, Crew Ravindra, let me just see if I can actually unmute you. And you can ask your question, and I'm just going to stop sharing.
Hey, hi. Thank you. It was, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Oh, I can see you now.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. Thank you so much for the information. And it was quite knowledgeable and insightful. So I wanted to ask one thing. I have been diagnosed with, meaning August last year, AVN, avascular necrosis. It's a blood circulation issue at hip joint, right? As well as it's a bilateral, 45% at the right side and 20% at the left side. So I've been using that program as per the instruction and based on a training given. So it's helping me sometimes, and it's not completely, I can say, I feel healthy, but yeah, I feel healthy, and sometimes I come out and say strongly. But just wanted to understand the emotion behind it, like what might be the emotion that I have to work on a subtle body level, or maybe you can say the blue app. Yeah.
So I can't answer the diagnosis because Healy doesn't treat or heal or anything, right? So frequencies only create an environment within our body in order for our body to actually come back to balance. So if I look at, our body, the best resource that I can give you to start with, for example, on an emotional level, is a book called Secret Language of the Body. And we shared that a few sessions ago, and I'll post it in our group as well. Forgot to do that. It's called Secret Language of the Body by Ina Sigal. So she's Australian, and she created a whole book. You can buy it on Kindle if you want to. And she goes through all the areas of the body, and you can start connecting the dots there to actually see what resonates with you. But as I said before, the basics, right? So depending, is it front part of the body, back side of the body? When we look at, our pelvic area as well, for example, our joints, right? We need to understand that the way I see the body, yeah, is bones are not the structure of the body. Fascia is. So fascia is a connective tissue that surrounds the bones. So if you think of it this way, bones don't touch. They're not together, right? So they have a liquid in between. So they can't be a structure of the body. So whatever is wrapping around the bones is actually connective tissue. And the new research actually shows that fascia, which is connective tissue, has more neurons than our brain. So it's actually electrical. So it holds the emotional charge. Yeah. So when we stretch that tissue around and through the body, because it's all connected, yeah. And if we look at what is formed first in the utero, yeah, when we are in our uterus within our mother, the first thing that is formed is actually connective tissue. So the connective tissue is the information. So when we look at that, we need to understand that if there's I don't know, for example, my arm hurts, right? Or shoulder hurts, right? I say, okay, there's something in there, right? But we are so used to thinking of this Western world of approach. Okay, so this is a problem because I feel it here, yeah. But in reality, in the body, the root cause of the problem or the situation can be on a completely different side. So, for example, if you look at the shoulder, our body has three parts. So the head, shoulder up to the hips, and hips down to the ankles or the feet. Yeah. If all three parts connect together, your jaw is equals your shoulders equal your hips. So if there's an issue in the hip, there's a charge in the shoulder, and there's also a charge in your jaw. So when you release all three of them, the pain subsides. So we need to understand that we're looking at the body as a whole and not looking at it from a Western medicine, because this is holistic approach, right? So Healy looks at it that way because it works with the systems. It doesn't work with this issue, right? Because if I have an issue with my shoulder, it might be something else. It might be, I don't know, my body is highly inflamed. Yeah. So I need to lower the toxins. Yeah. Or for example, I had an injury. So there's, fascia is contracted there and energy is stuck there. So I need to kind of move this around, support the area, get more oxygen in. So there's so many things that can be looked at. Yeah. My encouragement to you would be to actually start trusting your body instead of analyzing things of what it could be.
Okay.
Just go into meditation, or what we had before, for example, contemplation. So when we are in meditation, we can ask questions, and you can use Healy afterwards or before that, whatever you want to. You can use the coaching program, and you can actually ask a question. Why is this, or what is this trying to show me, or what area, of my life it needs to balance in order for this to shift? Yeah. So you can start asking those things and start exploring your body. But I get it. If there's not enough knowledge at the back, our brain tends to go, I don't trust that, even if information comes up. Yeah. So the first thing I would do is the book of from Ina Sigal, The Secret Language of the Body, and then literally go into meditation and looking at the body like overall, right? How is your diet? Is your body inflamed? Obviously, it is if you have a situation. Yeah. What are you ingesting and what are you eliminating out of the body? Yeah. If your body's having issue, and we're going to have new sessions next week, we have deep cycles, and then we go into meridians and we go into detoxification. So we're going to look at all of that, and maybe by the end of February, you'll have a bit more clarity on that. But with I can't answer any medical questions, but the way I approach my body is okay, so my body's telling me something, there's something out of balance. So, what are the foundational things that I need to look at first in order to actually eliminate anything that's causing my body to be in overload? Yeah. And then I can go specifically targeting certain things. Because if I'm not eliminating things that are, well, influencing my body not to heal, then it doesn't make sense to apply certain specific programs in that area because they'll be just for a short amount of time because the root cause was never eliminated. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
All right. I'll follow the routine what you said, and I'll thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome. Otherwise, if there's an issue like in the body, with that you can, like next week when we do the deep cycle, I would encourage you to go and do the deep cycle protocol for about 4 to 6 weeks. So you can actually start eliminating toxins out of your body. Yeah. So that will help you and your body system to actually start building the blocks of the foundations, and then we move on to certain other things. Yeah.
So I'm also running this blood harmony 9, blood harmony 11, blood harmony 5 as per the instruction.
You mean the list of programs, or
list of the programs from Healy Advisor? Yeah, Healy Advisor. Yeah, I'm running those.
Yeah. Try them and see how you feel, and then maybe feel like if some programs come up that you feel like might help you, try them out and see how your body reacts or responds. Yeah, because I'm not in your body. I can give you suggestions, but your body knows exactly what it needs. It's just finding a way to trust it and to listen to it. Yeah, and that's the process of coming back to ourselves. Yeah, and that's what Healy teaches us.
I got to identify some things which might be triggering my inflammation is my sleep, because I work for night shift, and the other thing is diet. So I got to identify that, but I'm minimizing my time in the night shift. I'm sleeping around 12:30 max trying, but yeah, but I cannot leave my job now since that is
and it's okay. Have in mind that nothing is perfect in life. Yeah. And we do our best with what we have, and having kindness and compassion and patience with ourselves, and not expecting magical results just because there's something that says that we have all of this. Your body, if it's already inflamed and so much out of balance, it will need some time to come back to balance. So be patient with yourself and keep going, and you will find the source and you will know exactly what to do.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Perfect. You're welcome, Chris. Okay, Priyanka.
Hi. Hi, Petra.
Hello.
So thanks so much for this beautiful information. So now I just want to ask you that as you were explaining to some other person about the jaw thing and its relation with the shoulder and the hip. So I by chance, I have got some locked jaw here on the right side. So now I wanted to know how it is related to this. Is it related to something stress and burdening of self, because shoulders are related to burden, hips are around carrying the burden. So is it around related
Can be.
to So how do we know whether it is an energetic thing, or it is something related to some other people's life that I'm sensing in my mind, and it is a mental thing, or it is emotional or physical? So how do I get to know about this?
Okay, I will answer this with a question. Yeah. My question to you is, how do you know if it's a chicken or a rabbit in a box or if the box is covered? How do you know?
I'll have to open it.
So our body is the same. That's why I like to call the body a pantry, right? I like to kid around, and I see those images of the pantry. You stuff things into the pantry and you can't see what's behind, at the back, right? And then you start cleaning out the pantry, right? Like we clean out the emotion and the tension out of the body, right? And then you pull things out, and all of a sudden you find, cookies that you forgot about. And then you open up those cookies and, oh my God, there's cockroaches in there, right? So it's the same thing within our body. We don't actually know what it is, although we think we know, our ego thinks it knows, right? Until we open it, right? So I will share an experience with you, and this is extreme experience, yeah? So this is quite vulnerable for me. So last week, I do deep cycle Healy like deep cycle H protocols every year, like twice a year, yeah? Because this is my care of the body, and I know that it works on my emotional and physical level, and we're going to look at that next week. But I started the Healy protocol, the Healy Deep Cycle protocol. Normally, I don't do any other programs with the Deep Cycle because they're quite powerful. But this time around, I said, that's okay. I'm doing Soul Cycle protocol anyway, so I'm just going to add on the Deep Cycle, right? So if you're new to protocols, do not do that. Just letting you know. I've been using Healy for 4 years, and I know my body exactly what it can do and cannot do. So that triggered a lot of movement in my body. Yeah. And what had happened is my hip started hurting, like really, really, how do you call it? Like pulling on my hip, right? I couldn't walk properly. So I started stretching my body in order to release that tension. And all of a sudden I started crying, literally, like I couldn't stop myself. Like I had so much grief coming up, and I couldn't breathe through my chest because I was moving that energy out of the hip. And I didn't know. I was just crying. I had no idea where that was coming from. I was just feeling things. So, but now, because I've been working with myself and my body for over 20 years, I know exactly what to do and how to hold myself in a space of safety. Yeah. But because the intensity was so enormous, yeah, I had to ask my partner to actually come and hold me, to hold my space in order for me to release, to be safe. So I did, and allowed myself to do that. I was like, okay, I can do this. Next day, I'm going to stretch even more. So when stretching, and the physical pain, the intensity in my hip was so strong that when I was stretching, it hurt so much that I started yelling, like screaming. Yeah. But the thing was, after 3 seconds, my hip was not hurting anymore. What I was feeling was the emotional pain that was stuck in my hip. Yeah. And it took me an hour. And this is just me. This is not a normal process. Yeah. Just letting you know. But it took me an hour in order to scream and cry and release all that intensity in the body. And that happened because I was using the deep cycle, I was using the soul cycle, and the frequency started moving through the body and started releasing what was not in alignment with the frequency that I was applying. My body was changing the frequency, and that energy in the body needed to come out. So why am I sharing this? The first day I had no clue what I was opening up. All I did was allow to cry, and that was it. The next day, when I started screaming, I got pictures and feelings coming up in the body. And I knew exactly, I had memories coming up. So I knew exactly where that pain was coming from. So until we actually allow ourselves to listen to the body, to hold the space for ourselves, I know this is contradictory to what we've been told and learned through all our life. Yeah? I will really love to encourage you, if you want to work on a physical body, and we're going into physical body deeper through the next 3 sessions, start doing fascia releases. Yeah, so stretching your fascia. There's a beautiful man called Gary, and you can search him up. He does things for free. Yeah, his name is Gary, and the name of the business that they have is called Human Garage. And you can search on Instagram, on YouTube. They have all the exercises up on YouTube as well as on Instagram, and they have their own community for free. So you can start doing those exercises. Why am I saying this? Because the more you're going to stretch your body, the deeper you can go. And the more you're going to support yourself with programs, the more the mud in the glass will start bubbling up. So instead of analyzing everything, trust your body, drop into the body, and go with what your body's saying. If your jaw is hurting, then start stretching your jaw. There's exercises you can do to actually open up the jaw. And then start stretching your shoulders, start stretching your hips. So you don't know where the energy is actually stored in. But if you're applying your programs, it doesn't really matter, because the energy will start bubbling up. And if you are stretching your body and moving the energy out, you will release it either way. And when it's released, it's released. It's not in your body anymore. I actually have no memories. Well, I have small memories of it, what happened, but it's gone. It's not in my body anymore. And I feel lighter. And my perception, my clarity changed, and my heart opened up. And it's a different experience. But I've been doing this for over 20 years. So I understand my body and I know what to do. So start small, keep going. And of course, again, you have a book. If you need the knowledge at the back to understand it, start with Ina Segal book, start going into the body and trying to connect the dots. But I would really encourage you to not involve your brain, because your brain will try to make stories out of nothing. And then that actually expands and perpetuates things instead of actually being in the moment, because the emotion will pass and then you just release. There's nothing left anymore, and you don't have any attachment to it. So you can move forward. It doesn't really matter if it's yours or ancestral's or whatever it is. It's just energy. Yeah. So it's your choice either to hold on to it or to let it go. But patience is the key, because you don't know how deep into the bodies, into the energetic field it's actually stuck. So your essence, your higher self, your spirit, your soul, whatever you want to call it, it will guide you, because it's you, it's within your body. It knows exactly what you're doing. And this is what I wanted to literally show you, that I feel it's time for us to change the paradigm of how we are approaching our body. And Healy is working with us. It's actually helping us to do that. So start stretching your body and start feeling into the body and connecting to the body and saying, oh, this side hurts a bit more. This side doesn't hurt. Okay, so this one is a bit intense. Okay. And then you can start asking yourself, okay, if left side is a bit intense and right side is a bit loose. Okay, so left side is feminine. Okay, am I receiving enough? Am I open enough to receive? Am I allowing myself to receive? Am I actually trusting my intuition? Am I trusting myself when I hear that inner voice? Am I acting on it? Yeah, so those are the things that you can start exploring, and you don't have to know everything. Trust me. It's better not to know sometimes with your head, yeah, because heads get in the way. Yeah, but Human Garage, if you want to explore that one, it's amazing. I really love them. Yeah. Does this answer your question? Long-winded answer. Or what did you want to have a specific thing of what the hips are or what the jaw is? Is that what you were asking? I can hear you, Priyanka.
Yeah. So it's done. Actually, I wanted to ask the same thing. I am getting in my mind a stress system, to run a stress system. So
then run stress system.
Maybe that's related to stress only. So I'm getting continuously stress system. So maybe
Well,
that's what I
think
require.
of this jaw, yeah, clenching jaws, a tight jaw, it's connected to either fear, anxiety, stress. Yeah, it
Yeah,
can also be anger. Yeah, but that's connected to nervous system. So, but either way, you need to, so this is to balance that. But either way, you need to go and look at the source. So where is this anger coming from? Where is this fear coming from? Where is this tension coming from? But for now, you can start stress system. You can also
yeah,
start, balancing your kidneys. You can start doing the deep cycle protocol that we're going to look at next week, which actually helps with all the organs and stuff. Yeah, so there's multiple things you can do. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but
Thank you.
until you work on your body together with the frequency, you're not going deep enough. But if that's okay, you can start with that and then move forward when you're ready. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so
okay,
much.
you're welcome. Okay, Sonia.
Hi, Petra. Thanks a lot. I mean, I had a question, but after all that you said to Priyanka, I'm a little gobsmacked right now.
Why?
It was beautiful, just beautiful. There's so much that I've learned in this session that I didn't know, and I thought I knew a lot about the body. So I'm quite amazed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So yes, Petra, my question was around for somebody else, actually, a young boy who's got weed-induced psychosis. And I tried using Healy on him, but he totally resisted. Uh, I'm also exploring, maybe is there a possibility of some kind of negative entities, because he literally was so like, resistant to using Healy, because he said my frequencies are amazing, my frequencies are top order actually, and everything. So there was so much resistance that suddenly I'm starting to think, because I know that in time waiver there's assessment of negative entities and things like that. Just was curious to hear your views on that side of things.
I'm not an expert, so I can't answer any medical questions, and it's a hard one because I don't know this person. The only suggestion I can give you is if they don't want to, are they like old enough that they 18 and on over, or yeah, so it's energetically that's hard. Yeah, for me, this is my perspective, because the way this is my view of the world. Yeah, so take this or leave it, that's your choice. But um we all come here with free will. Yeah, so we can't force anyone to change. So we can be the one to lead by example, and we can inspire others, but others, we don't know the entire story why certain people come to this world to experience certain things. Yeah,
Yes.
so we are limited here because we forget. Yeah, we have amnesia, literally. Yeah, of who we truly are. So if they don't want to, you can't force them. That's first thing. um is it too intense for them to use the Healy, or is it why is the resistance?
I think people with psychosis or even schizophrenia or any kind of mental disorder, I'm not an expert either, but I've had it like now the situation arisen in like close family circle. So my observation is that, his conviction that his brain is right and everybody else around him is warped is so strong. So, the resistance
Well,
is
we don't know that, right? So we don't know exactly what's true and what's not. Probably both of them are true, existing at the same time. You know, in this case, like I wouldn't force anything on anyone, but if they are in the field of the frequencies, for example, Mag Healy would be amazing. So you can just pop it into the field, and they can either choose to be there or not, because we need to trust people to trust their own body.
yeah.
And lead by example. So if we're not trusting other people to know what's best for them, then we are literally we are we are moving into their energetic field. So that's literally crossing the boundary. So that's energetically it's disrespectful because we're literally moving into someone else's space. So acceptance, and then using that on yourself and, you know, having your own experience, it doesn't have to be fixing anything, right? Because Healy doesn't fix, it doesn't heal, it doesn't treat, it doesn't mitigate anything, right? It literally just creates a balanced environment. So that doesn't mean that it needs to fix anyone. Yeah, it can only be balancing, you know, harmonic frequencies in order to actually have a bit more positive environment, you know, at home, or more positive environment for themselves. I feel like people are using healing, you know, in a perception of I have this device and it's going to cure me or heal me. That doesn't work. Yeah, that Healy doesn't do that. And nothing in the world can, because if we're honest, we come here with free will, and if we want to heal, we will heal. And like, I used to, you know, be a healer. I never am a healer, but I used to work with energy with people, and I always tell them that, I used to tell them as well, like, and today as well, to my clients, I don't heal anything. Yeah, I am a vibration of the state of healing. Now it's your choice in a team with me if you accept that or not. It's your choice if you want to work on it or not. So I can't force anyone, I can't do, and I can't heal. We are the only ones that can heal ourselves. Nobody else can. Yeah, so it's not possible in the quantum field. Yeah, so just letting you know, nobody can heal anybody. We decide. So I can't, like, that's the only thing I can give you, honestly. But yeah.
Petra, one just final question around that. Now, I managed to get his profile made on my Blue app as a client. So would that be infringing in his space if I run distance programs on him?
What do you think?
Sounds like I shouldn't be doing that, but
it's your
not
choice what you decide. But I encourage everyone, be it on Healy or energetically, you know, using your own energy without permission. It's breach of boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to respect that, even when it comes to energy, because we kind of want to help people and want to change things because it's not the way we want them. Yeah, so, and that's again looking at ourselves and how much we love ourselves and how much we have acceptance for ourselves. So I would encourage you to maybe do some work on yourself and see how you can accept the situation. And when we shift things within ourselves, majority of times, 99% of times, things shift in the environment. So that's what I would suggest, but it is your choice always. Yeah, what you do. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, 20 past 8. Okay, question, and then I'm gonna go really through fast through all of that. Okay, Shivani.
Hi Petra, thank you for giving the opportunity. So I just want to ask about deep cycle. Like, is there any way sequence in which we have to run the deep cycle, or is there any particular like alternate days we have to run, or how frequently we have to run? Like,
Yes, we're
or
gonna
is it
do that next
suggested?
week. Next week, we're going to do the whole protocol. We're going to show you, I'm going to give you the PDF with the protocol. I'm going to tell you how to do it, how to approach it, what to do, what not to do. So we're going to have the whole session dedicated to Deep Cycle H. Because Deep Cycle, the old list of programs is called Deep Cycle, and then the new list of programs is called Deep Cycle H, which is just an upgrade, which is much better. So I'm going to go through all of that next week. You're going to get the whole recording, all the shebang, and all the PDFs and everything you can access, and you can start the protocol. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let me lower the hand so we can. Okay, no, here we go. Okay. Okay, really fast. You guys have been really chatting. Recordings as every single week either are sent through the email of newsletter, Healy corporate newsletter at the end of the month, or you can access it in our Facebook group, Freedom with Frequency Quantum Community. And I will share a link here again so you can have that group as well. Please, when you join the group, make sure that you agree to the rules of the group, because otherwise it's not going to accept you in. Okay. Let me just get the group link so you can actually access this. Here you go. This is Facebook group. So if you want to join that one, the recordings are in the guide section of the group, and the links of the recordings are in the comments of each promotional post for the sessions. Okay, let me see what we have. Can this program have the same effect through Blue app too? That is distance healing. Okay. So programs, different applications, right? We talked about this last year. So if I have deep cycle programs in the pink app, but I can scan deep cycle programs in the blue app, yeah, which is the resonance app, you will see what programs you can your body needs in that moment through the blue app. But the application through the blue app will be resonance, meaning it will be applied into the bioenergetic field of your body, as well as the bioenergetic field of your organ cells and things like that. Pink app being either on bracelets, what are those, clips, or local pads, yeah. They will be like a battery for your cell. So they will be charging your cell, meaning that they will be giving it energy in order to start reproducing and replicating in a proper way, meaning faster regeneration. Yeah. So the combination of resonance application through the blue app and the pink app applications together actually makes a better effect for your body, because you get a message into the field, so your body starts preparing and gets the information of what needs to do, and then you actually charge the cells, the mitochondria in the cell, which is giving the ATP, literally the energy into the cell to start reproducing better. Yeah. Could you repeat the name of the book? Oh, link is at the bottom. Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing the link. The secret language of the body. And what is the suggested way to run deep cycles? Okay, the deep cycles we'll take a look at next week. The power of 3, you can do conflict balance right away. I don't think there was a protocol for power of 3. I have to double check that one, but I think there was. Oh, it does come 3. Oh, I haven't looked at it. Okay, perfect. 3 weeks. Perfect. Great. I would love to talk to you, Jeffrey, if you are willing to actually share your experience with the power of 3 when we have the session. I would love to have you as a guest. Oh, hey, Jeffrey, I can see you now. Perfect. Can you message me? Are you on Facebook? Perfect. Can you find me in the group and just message me and let me know that I'm the one with the power of 3 experience, so I can pop you in the in the sessions moving forward, because I would love to have experiences from you guys. Like if you have any experiences with any programs that you had really good success with, please message me, please let me know, because I would love to have you as a guest, and I would love to have you here so you can all learn from each other. That's the point, right? I can share my knowledge and do the blah 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 thing here, but I would love you to actually have real experiences from your life. Fred, you can't dry clean water. I don't understand what's dry clean water, Jeffrey. You want to mute yourself and tell me what's the dry cleaning water?
Well, that's using the 5 Chinese elements of fire, earth, water. So if it's a water issue under the 5 Chinese elements, then you can't dry clean water. So it's going to be a wet process. It's going to involve things like crying and the like.
Correct. I agree. Now I understand when you said 5 elements. I was like, now I get it. I was like, where does that come from? Dry cleaning water. I was like, where does this go? Perfect. Yeah, I agree with elements, definitely. Thank you, Jeffrey, for adding that. Well, sonal, I think it is. Yes, thank you, Jeffrey. Pineal gland, yes. But at the same time, if the programs are coming up, everything else, then the hormonal imbalances, to me, in the Blue app, that to me indicates that the body has different priorities before the hormonal imbalance. So we need to look at what's really going on deeper in the body before we look at the symptoms, right? So because we tend to, like I said before, we have a pain in our shoulder and we tend to look at the pain in our shoulder, but the cause can be somewhere else. Yeah, so we need to look at the systems of the body. And this is what we are learning now with Healy. Healy is teaching us to trust our body instead of just the pain that we are used to from Western medicine. Through sound, breath work, and movement combine incredible amount of trauma. Yes, definitely. Which book? Can anyone please join the book? Yeah, okay. I'll post the book in the group as well, so you can get that one. Ina is beautiful. We are trying to get her into Katie, my beautiful friend, that we are running this group, Freedom with Frequency, together. She's a friend with Ina, and we are trying to pull her in so we can have her in our group as well for the interview. She is an amazing, beautiful woman. I love this, Jeffrey. The heart is the artist and the head is the BS artist. Joy is suppressing, unable to speak, so it's clenching. Yes, it can be connected to not being able to speak. It also can be connected to hormonal imbalances. So, for example, low progesterone can influence, especially with women, can influence jaw tightness because it influences anxiety in the body and then influence the bones and also the heart health. So, and then tightness in the hips as well and the shoulders. So just letting you know, there can be few things that can influence that. Free will, right? Yes, free will is always a thing. We need to respect each other, because otherwise, if there's no respect, how can we actually, oh, what's going on? Okay. So how can we why do I, okay, what happened here? What happened here? Okay. Otherwise we can't actually have we can't expect the respect back. Divya, yes, of course, recordings in the Facebook group. Okay, I can't find Human Garage by Gary on Instagram. Okay, I'll pop it into the Facebook group so you can have that. Oh, perfect, great, awesome. And I'll post the link in the group either way. Overthinking which app to run. Mental well-being programs that I've gave you, any of those are good. Yeah, coherence, also connecting the body and the heart. Yeah. Okay. iPhone something has the hand up. Okay, last question and then we leave. iPhone, Bhavani. You have a hand up.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
My question is overthinking about using the Healy, but and you do the yoga, Sudarshan Kriya, art of living. Can you hear my voice?
I can hear your voice, but I don't understand your question. So, as I
Uh,
said, with
uh,
overthinking, you
yeah,
can use.
overthinking somehow my son, I have so many questions in inner side. His job and is stable in there. Is eating the non-veg and some like the somehow day some days the drink, and I think so many frustrated in my soul and my mind. What can I do?
Well, that's a really broad question, right? So if we're looking at the overthinking, then I would recommend you to use any of the programs that I've suggested on the list tonight. Yeah, so you can choose from supporting your energetic boundaries to keep your space clean. You can actually work on your emotional well-being, so you're not stressed as much. You can work on mental well-being. There's a lot of programs in there to balance your thoughts and your brain activity. So try with that and see how it goes. But if not, guys, anything that you don't know and you're not sure of and you want to explore, there is a Heal Advisor search app. Yeah, and you can always go in there. You can always put your concerns in there. That will come up with a list of programs. Choose the top one that comes up as a list of programs and see what's
Okay.
in there. Look at the programs, and you can always pop that into the schedule and run those programs for a week or two and see what happens and explore your body. Yeah.
Can you help me? Cause how many run few days some program for my body and my soul? I continue.
So I can't help you specifically but you can try for yourself. Like I said today, we had a whole session about it. So I can't explain. We don't have the time for this now. But if you go and look at the recording, that will be available hopefully tomorrow, if not the beginning of next week. You can choose any of those programs, as I said, or use the Heal Advisor search app, and you have an option to pop that into your schedule, and it will remind you daily of what programs to run. And then you can explore and see how your body feels. Yeah.
I take screenshot your display in your display on this mental program and how you
Yes.
discuss.
The
I take
the
I
the
take
slides.
screen,
The
yes.
slides. Sorry.
I take screenshot.
That's
Slide.
not a problem. Yes, of course. And we'll have the recording as well. You can come back as well. So that's not a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
And try things and see how you feel and see how your body responds. Yeah.
Okay. Because he's my little child. That's why I'm worried. There's job.
It's okay. If something, if you don't know something, you can always ask in the group. And you also have a person that enrolled you, yeah, that you've bought the Healy from. They are there to support you as well, with any issues or anything that you have and any support that you need. Yeah.
Because I purchased this Healy, same 1 year question. Jo I am ask you. That's why I'm Healy purchased.
I don't understand.
I can ask na my son. I have so worry about my son.
I'm so sorry you're worrying, but unfortunately, I don't know your son and I don't know your specific situation. So unfortunately, I can't take responsibility for your personal situation. So as I said, you can try the programs that we've learned today. You can try the programs from the Healy Advisor search app. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask in any of the Facebook groups or the person that actually sold you the Healy, or anyone that supported them. So you can actually turn towards them so they can help you and support you on your journey.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. No worries.
Thank you,
ma'am. Okay, so this is it for tonight. Thank you for coming, everyone. Next week we are diving into the deep cycle and the deep cycle protocol, and then moving into the meridians and detoxification this month. If you have any questions, you can always pop them into the Facebook group, in the comments of the sessions. But I am grateful that you've joined tonight, that you're coming every week. I am truly grateful for that, and honored that you are coming. And I love that, seeing that this is of value. And I will see you next Thursday. Have a beautiful night or day wherever you are, and I will see you next week. Good night.